Hello, everyone. Welcome to Go Publish Yourself, an Ingram Spark podcast. I'm Robin Cutler, Director of Ingram Spark.
And I'm Justine Bilo, the Manager of Author Acquisitions Program.
What are we going to talk about today, Justine?
We're talking about print on demand.
Print on demand, also known as POD in some circles,
Yes,
right?
not pod. Don't get it confused.
I know. I see sometimes people calling it pod, and I don't even know what they're talking about.
I know.
Because I always say print on demand.
Yep, print on demand.
And not even POD a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's our topic for today.
So print on demand is a really fantastic thing to talk about with if you're an indie author, if you're a new author, a publisher. To me, print on demand is one of those new, I'd say in the last 5 years, a new technology that has so improved just every part of the publishing industry.
Yeah, and it makes the lives of many authors and publishers much easier to get their books into the world.
Yes, so and also more affordable.
It does.
So that's what we want to talk about here today. So we're lucky to have joining us today one of our colleagues here at Ingram Spark, Pam Dover. Pam, you want to talk about yourself and what you do with Ingram Spark?
Sure. Thanks for having me here. And what I mainly do with Ingram Spark is I talk with authors and small publishers who want to get into print on demand. They're not sure how to get started. And so what I do is kind of help them through the process of getting their books into Ingram Spark and explaining how to use the services we offer to their benefit.
So let's just talk for a minute about print on demand and what it is. And first of all, I just want to kind of lay the groundwork. So print on demand is a technology that started about 20 years ago, and it actually started when the Ingram Book Company actually created a company called Lightning Source, and some of you listening might have heard of Lightning Source. And this is print on demand company that actually John Ingram started now, can you believe it, 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
I know.
And think about how far it's come, too.
I know. So today, our Lightning Source technology is what's offered through Ingram Spark in our print on demand program. And really, Lightning Source I consider to be kind of state of the art in terms of how far print on demand has evolved. So
yeah, the great thing about print on demand is that you cannot tell the difference between a print on demand book and an offset book anymore. And an offset book is just a book that's been printed by a traditional printer. But yeah, the quality has become so amazing.
You know, when I've been around, and nobody can see me, thank goodness. I've been in the publishing industry for about 35, 40 years now, believe it or not. I'm like 100 years old. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am. And so I remember when I was a publisher in my days, and I had to, guess how many copies I would sell. I used to have a warehouse. I would have to pay for those books in advance. And it would cost probably $15,000-$20,000 to bring a book to market in those days.
That's a lot of money even in these days.
I know. So today with print on demand, let's just talk about what now that technology has enabled authors. So today it's more like it's like pay-as-you-go model. So maybe Pam, you're the best person to really talk about how this kind of works for an author.
Sure. Well, with our print on demand services, you need a print ready digital file for the interior of the book and one for the cover. And once you have that, you can go ahead and activate an account through Ingram Spark. You'll set up the title in our system where you give us all the information for your book, the cover image, the book description, an annotation, who the author is, and even the pricing, what you want to sell the book for. And then once you have completed that, you'll upload the digital files to us. It takes us about 3 business days to process those files. If the files work great in our system, then you'll receive an email notifying you that an e-proof is ready for you to approve. Once you've done that, you can enable distribution. And what we do is we send out all the information for your book to all of our distribution partners. They'll pick it up and post it on their website and make your book available for sale.
So when you say distribution partners, we're talking about that there's a data feed. It actually goes out to like an Amazon, a Barnes and Noble, other retailer websites, right?
Right. That's
and,
right.
And then that information gets posted on their site, right, Justine?
That's correct. And how many distribution partners does Ingram have now, Pam?
Oh my goodness.
About 39,000.
Yeah, yes, our distribution network reaches over 39,000 bookstores, libraries,
and around
retail
the world.
outlets. In over 200 countries around the world.
That's a lot of distribution.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and the great thing is, so there's no inventory, that we're stocking. So we're actually printing when we get an order, say from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or even directly from the publisher, right, Justine? That's when we're actually printing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we call it a zero inventory solution. So unless that book is purchased by someone, we don't print that book. We print it and ship it to them as the orders come in. So when you were talking about, Robin, how back in the day you used to have to print a ton of books and have a warehouse for them and ship them, POD solves all of that. It takes all of that away for you so that you can just print what you need.
So Pam, talk a little bit about what's available through print on demand. What type of trim sizes and what options are available through print on demand?
Well, we have over 25 different trim sizes. So we offer paperback, hardcover, encased laminate hardcover where the image is printed directly on the book, and also cloth-bound hardcovers with dust jackets. We offer black and white interiors printed on cream or white paper, and we have several different color interior options so that you can pick exactly what you need for your book.
I'm astounded when I see the hardcovers that we can do as print on demand.
Yeah.
They just amaze me.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see them making them too. It's wild.
Yeah, and talk a little bit, because this has been, we're always adding new trim sizes and new technology. We just announced recently a partnership with Hewlett Packard, where we're going to be uploading and changing out our printers so that we have the very latest in print-on-demand technology. But one of the things we keep adding are different trim sizes that we offer, and I know that we just, within the last couple of weeks now, have like a landscape.
That's right.
Trim size.
We do.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that for children's books.
So that's a really great option for children's books, and for years we've had people requesting the landscape trim size. So it's available with our premium color print option, and it's 11 by 8.5 in paperback and hardcover.
And the color. Talk a little bit about how good the color is these days with print on demand.
It's very vibrant. So with the premium color, that's our top quality color interior printing, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's as good as offset.
Yeah, and for cookbooks and children's books and any type of photo book, it's just a fantastic option.
So let's talk a little bit, just a little broader, about the advantages of publishing your book as a print-on-demand book. And I like to talk about this a lot with authors. So to me, one of the advantages is if you, say, win an award or you get a really good endorsement, all you have to do to add that to your book is just add it to your book file. And from there on, every book is printed with that new information on it, right?
Yeah, it is. And if you ever need to, fix something with your book, you don't have to
error.
You have an error. You don't have to worry about chucking all that inventory and replacing it. You just make the revision to your file and upload it again, and we'll start printing the right ones.
So to me, that's like one of the huge advantages to using print on demand, especially for a new author that really doesn't even know the demand they're going to have on their book.
Yeah, and speaking about demand, you don't have to worry about the upfront costs either. So for new publishers just starting out who don't know that demand and wouldn't know how many books to order, this completely solves that problem.
So Pam, talk a little bit about, just to give our listeners an idea of what, the unit cost is for a typical print-on-demand book. 200 pages, 6x9 trim size. It's usually about $3 or $4.
Right. Well, actually, the print cost for black and white interior paperback would be a little over a penny per page and $1.12 for the cover. So it's very inexpensive.
Oh, yeah. So they can just figure out the number
Mhm.
of pages.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing that we offer too are our pricing calculators. So you can visit ingramspark.com and use our print and shipping calculator to find out how much it would cost to print and ship books to yourself or to someone else. And there's also a publisher compensation calculator you can use to price your book so that you can find out how much you'll earn in each of the markets that it's being sold in.
Oh, that's important. You want to know how much you're making per book.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the global part of this, how you can set up your book and then it's available to be printed like all over the world.
True. So we have print facilities here in the US, the UK, and Australia. So you would be able to place orders for your books. If you needed them shipped to an address overseas, you can use one of those facilities to print from. We also have distribution partners in those countries where the books are printed in those print facilities and shipped to the distribution partners, and they fulfill the orders they receive. We also have what we call our Global Connect partner program, and that's where we've partnered with printers in other areas of the world. For instance, China, Russia, Poland, Germany,
India.
Italy, and then we just keep adding printer partners as we vet them and make sure that they are a trustworthy source. And what they do is they print the books for bookstores and retail outlets in their countries.
Yeah.
So that saves them on the shipping cost. You still earn the same amount of publisher compensation that you would for U.S. sales if that's what you want. And it just makes it more convenient and gives your book more places to be sold.
And it's easy as clicking a button, right?
That's right.
That's crazy that your book can be available all over the world by just clicking a button.
I know, that's right.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, Justine, you work with all the top authors in Ingram Spark. And, do you think that print on demand that we offer is one of the reasons why you're able to bring these authors in?
Oh, absolutely. Our authors love the quality of our books because they know that if they walk into a bookstore with a book that was printed through our program, that the quality is going to be spot on, and that bookseller or library or what have you won't know the difference that it was print on demand. Not to mention it helps them save on print costs, which is great.
Yeah.
They also just trust that, we are getting those books out there for them. So they're not missing any sales by missing a retail outlet. They're getting their books everywhere that their readers are. And
the
that
book is always available.
the book is always available.
Yeah.
So they know that their readers can get their book, and that peace of mind is huge.
And the other thing, it's not just authors that are using print on demand. All the major publishers now are using print on demand as just part of their normal publishing business, right?
Exactly. So say you have a really robust backlist. So those books that published a few years ago, you want to keep them in print. You don't want to retire them. So you put them in print on demand, and as there is demand for them, we'll print them and ship them. So it's a great solution for something like that, as well as, your new books.
Yeah. Some publishers now have moved to print on demand as being the only way that they print now.
They have. Yeah, it's just more cost effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you can see, we're really big fans of print on demand.
We love it.
And to be honest with you, I wish that I had had this available to me when I was publishing, the authors that I served, because I would have only used this. It would have saved a lot of headaches.
Mhm.
Having a warehouse, having to pack orders,
Oof.
it's like one of the worst things you ever want to do.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Nobody.
Trips to the post office,
It's
no.
just horrible.
Well, and another thing a lot of authors are using print on demand for is to get their book out into the marketplace, and they're being picked up by some of the larger trade publishing houses.
Oh, wow.
Opening
That's
some
it.
doors.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I think we're close to being out of time here. So what's the last? What do we see on the horizon? That's where we're moving with this technology going forward.
More bells and whistles. I think that's the exciting thing. We got landscape, and more is coming. So there's always room for improvement there.
Yeah, I think so too. What about you, Pam?
Oh, definitely. Our website is improving and it's going to be much easier to use. As Justine said, more bells and whistles, more tools to make it easier for authors and independent publishers to get their books printed and distributed.
What about you, Robin? What do you think?
I would, I always want more, so I want better, the quality. I can remember when I first learned about print on demand 20 years ago. Pages would fall out and things like that. I mean, it's just like you said at the beginning of this show. You can barely. I don't think you can even tell the difference
No.
between a traditionally printed book and a print on demand book anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the quality of the paper, everything about it, and just coupled that with Ingram's distribution on top of that, it's just really the only way to go.
You
in
can't
my
beat
view.
it. Yeah.
So we're big fans, and we're here to help with any kind of questions you have about not only print on demand but anything related to indie publishing. So, just as a sign off here, remind our listeners to visit us on ingramspark.com, and please sign up for our blog. Our blog, I think, is one of the best we have, and our marketing department does a great job in bringing content that authors are looking for.
They really do. There's some fantastic articles on there about Spark and how the industry works. So please go check them out.
A lot of information about how to market your book through the blog, which is invaluable. So anyway, that's kind of it for me today. So thank you, Justine. Thank you, Pam. And we will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, Robin.
Thank you.
Bye.